speed of the Tejero Jag just goes honking past the Ferrari as Harrison Newey draws all our attention with that puncture.
But at the front of that imagery had a change for the lead. Fleetingly, David Hart went in front. That is the highest I've ever seen the tail end of a Lister Nobly get off the ground. So for Harrison, he's had great speed.
Oh, huge rotation from car number 18.
Well, that's
Lotus 18 of Clinton McCarthy here. Monster spin.
Almost like whiplash, as it went one way, went the other, and he gained various positions. Unfortunately for him, he shed them now.
Yeah, just ahead of Tom Dark. So that was the battle for 7th. He is still 7th because that's Tom Dark's red nose right behind. However, much closer. So let's see what... Oh, my goodness me. That was an epic moment. Pick a side, any side.
But now they're into a bit of traffic, so that's going to make life interesting. And it looks like he's coming in. He's coming in. He's got his hand up. That means I'm coming into the pit. So.
Oh, I'll have a bit.
Oh, no.
He does go off.
Keep off the barrier. Oh, he does. This was the car that set the pace yesterday.
Well, he's setting it now. Johnson's top at the moment, 1:25.098. But it won't be that won't be a fast lap.
No, actually, it wasn't. In the end, it wasn't the fastest. It was one of the fastest during yesterday. But that, my goodness, that could so easily have been into the barrier.
I think he scrubbed all the speed off, and that was the bit that saved him in the end.
Sideways, sideways. He hopes to keep it going for a bit, then straightens up. Actually, well played, because he kept it straight, then hit the brakes, comes off the brakes at the right time as well. If he'd stayed on the brakes, it probably would have locked up and gone in the barrier. That's a driver who knows what they're doing. Get off the brake, let it steer again.
Whether the number 4 there...
Oh, Perfetti.
Perfetti, really. He did well, actually, to gather that back up again.
He did.
That felt like a properly sideways 180-degree possibility.
Easily done. We saw that where Harrison knew he had a problem earlier in the car and got damaged as a result of going over some of those bumps. He got away with it there in the Lotus Cortina.
Obviously, things have changed since then, hugely. Is that the Gilera that's having a bit of a problem to get it started? Of course, these motorcycles have been running down in the paddock quite nicely, but of course, as soon as you want them to go for it, they are reluctant sometimes.
Andy Hornby on Francois Fabry's bike. Looking here, number 11, this is the supercharged BMW. Herbert Schwab is the man who owns and races it with Eugene Laverty, factory BMW leathers.
Oh, very neat. Well, that's what happens when you've got solid chassis. He's not used to this type of motorcycle. It is a rigid motorbike. And you
at the moment. Oh, and that was a big sideways moment for Philippe Hofer in the ex-BRM, ex-Graham Hill BRM. Actually going onto the grass there. Looks like he got away with it, Keith.
He did. He was very, very fortunate in just backing out of it. Oh, he's not going to be able to get around him this time. That was where the Alpha managed to ride around the outside of him, but he's still trying it. He's going to get pushed up on the curb. He's going to get pushed up on the grass. That's going to be costly. He's never going to get it stopped by the chicane. He's going to have to go the long way round. He does. He comes back on the track, but missed out the chicane. I don't quite know how the stewards will deal with that. Was he forced to go there? Will they deem that an error that was forced on him? We're going to see it again. He tried to stay around the outside, but the big Ford gave him a nudge. There was no way the Ford could turn anymore.
Look how close he is to the barrier here.
Yeah, it's a good bit of driving.
Close.
There's no way he could have turned, otherwise he would have definitely spun out there.
That was a brilliant bit of control.
I think he's going to have to give the place back.
I don't. I think it. Well, he was pushed.
Look how much more Cottingham's got. He goes the long way round the outside. David Hart almost made contact. Little hand out to the cockpit. Thank you, says James Cottingham. Enough racing room is just enough racing room. James Cottingham leads in the Lister Costin. Second place is David Hart, and in third place is now Miles Griffiths in the Lotus 15. In the Tejero Jag, leading James Cottingham. The Lister Costin in second.
That was a very, very hairy moment. So I thought suddenly Miles Griffiths might
not dropped oil on the circuit.
Currently down in 21st position, but clearly, yeah, as you say, that's...
But it's not coming out the end of the exhaust, so it means it's coming out of somewhere else. Oh, it is coming out the end of the exhaust, so it's obviously mechanical internal that's gone pop. When you see smoke out the exhaust, you know it's an internal situation. You just hope it hasn't, shall we say, transmitted itself to an external problem, because then you'll end up with a load of oil all over everything.
Jason Minshaw with the blue car with the red, white and blue. Then the very bright blue number 88. That's Malcolm Gammonson. On the inside of him is the red, white car. Chris Ryan. Oh, big moment. Gathers it all up. Just Barnett.
He's already had his moments in practice.
Doesn't gather it all up. That was a big moment, and that's going to split the field there, because he is fishtailing miles an hour down the 11th straight.
Well, I'm taking a look at that timing interval, and that's No, it's the timing split before that, and that no one else has been within 4 miles an hour. So that's a car set up for straight line glory.
Here comes Rob Huff, slotting up the inside of the number 9 E-Type, the gunmetal soft top with the white nose band, and that is Mark Gordon and Ludo Lindsay. So Ludovic Lindsay, like his father before him, an inveterate, vintage, historic, and any old car racer. Oh, and Rob Huff again with that classic E-Type cornering technique that he's developed over the years. Essentially just puts it into a big drift all the way through Woodcote rather, and into the chicane.
Well, he's good for 3rd place at the moment, but the one we want to is coming round to the end. Car number 4, and it's Chris Ward's taken over from John Young, ex-Tommy Sopwith, the Keep Endeavour car.
But he's just been off, apparently. Let's have a look at what happened to him.
This is the 59. He's got that front wheel locked up massively by the look of that, and yeah, well, if that was at a NASCAR track, you'd be into the barriers for sure. He's gathered that up pretty well, considering I thought that was going to go reversing under the tyres, but he's got that back on track, so that's a good save from Jimmie Johnson for a track he doesn't know. That's pretty impressive.